Awesome. There we go. We are back. Hello. Oh, hey, Christine. Glad to see you here. Yeah, speaking of which, Christy, I did the first half of your request, and I'm going to do the second half after I go into work today. I work later in the day today, and I'm not going to get back till late, but I'll get the second half done by that point. And then I'll spend the next couple days editing it, and it should be out in the next 3 or 4 days. So I'm excited to get that one out. So far, the first part of the reaction is, I think, kind of funny, but I'm excited to get that out and to work on it more. Oh, there's a second one. What? Let me check on that. Okay, I see the problem. And here's the thing. I can't shut that one down until I end this broadcast, because I don't know how to navigate that through OBS, which is my recording software. So I'll get rid of it after the stream. Yeah, I don't know why it's done that, but here we are. But I hope everybody comes over to this one. Yeah, I don't know why it did that. When I was setting up for this stream, I did what I normally do, just the one thumbnail. I don't know why it even picked just a profile picture for it. I don't know why it doubled it, but I'll get rid of it after the stream. But it's fine. We're here. We're vibing. Can I post? Yeah, I think so. Let's take a look. Okay, let's do this. Hey all, please join us at the other posted in my channel. I'm not sure why this one was created. Lol. All right. Well, there we go. Man, this is the oh, what a live stream this is turning out to be so far, huh? But here we are. How's everyone doing? Man, I have been ridiculously busy as of late in terms of what it is that I've been focusing on. It is always something. Work has been giving me some issues. So in terms of where I work, I'm communicating directly with the management above me in terms of promoting, in terms of what it is that I need to do to grow and all these things. And over the last several months, I've really proven my worth. And upper management has been very tricky and a little Machiavellian in how they've been navigating my progress. and it's not just me, it's several other people I've worked with that are also attempting to promote. So, but for them, it's very much they only want to stay in that one particular location. So I've been going over to several other stores, seeing what opportunities lie before me, and it's been going pretty well in that regard. So I'm just constantly grinding away at that, but that's been eating up a lot of time with meeting other higher management managers and just constantly ensuring that I'm taking necessary steps to make a better living. um, and on top of that, trying to film as often as possible and edit, and it's a lot, but I'm making it happen. Uh, and it's a whole thing. But pick a goal. Wait, what? There's hold on. YouTube is saying that I can do goals. What are goals? Set a goal to engage with your audience in a new way. Once you reach your goal, celebrate. Okay. Um, Goal. Uh, it would be cool to have. Let's do 5 super chats. Any color. Set a timer for an hour. How you'll celebrate? I'll dance. There we go. Start the goal. Start. Sure, why not? There's been so much new music out lately. I'm sure it's been hard to keep up. Yeah, there has been. And I've been wanting to tackle a lot of music, but it's just been grueling recently. I've been doing a lot of just a lot, either work related or YouTube related, and I try to find the time to spend with my best friend and my lady, but it it's tough right now. But I'm making it happen, but it's rough. Christy, thank you. We are 1/5 of the way there. Dan, what are you reading? Right now, I am reading The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. I have a book, which is just a collection of Mark Twain stories. And the reason I got that book is, first off, I want to get through all of Mark Twain, understand his writing style, and that is paired with a biography I'm also reading on Mark Twain, and I want to read them at the same time so I can better understand who Mark Twain was as a person from his early childhood and how he developed, and his worldviews and how he experienced the world through his lens, and being able to see how he transferred a lot of his own personal life experience into his stories. So that's what I'm presently reading, those 2 books. A side book that I'm also reading, or not a side book, a book I am reading as well on the side, is The 50th Law by one of my favorite authors, Robert Greene. And he collaborated with a rapper named 50 Cent, because 50 Cent really loved one of his books. They collaborated and corroborated together in order to create this book called The 50th Law. It's a very short book. I want to say it's anywhere between 1 to 200 pages. And it talks about the utility of fearlessness, which is very interesting and insightful to me. Not necessarily just because of obvious reasons of, oh, you got to take risks and chances and things like that, but actually learning what it means to engage with the unknown, which I believe is a fear all of humanity possesses to some extent. And uh, being able to branch out more, being able to lessen the severity of solipsism, let's say. Not necessarily eradicate it, because I don't think that's necessarily possible, but more just being able to engage with the world in a way that is not so the world is only the way it is because of the way that I see it, but rather the world is a conglomerate of everybody's own lived experiences and how they engage with the world. And there's something very poetic and beautiful about that. It contributes to why I want to be an arbiter and what it is that I'm actively doing to be the best arbiter I can be. So, to answer your question, John, a biography on Mark Twain and the writings of Mark Twain, the stories. Presently, I'm starting with The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and The 50th Law. And yeah, those are the books I'm reading right now. I might revisit some other books or check out other books maybe, but right now that's what it is. I did the first super chat. I want to see the dance. Well, regardless, I've at least achieved one super chat. So by the end of this stream, there will be a dance regardless. But the goal is, because I'm trying this goal thing out, but just the fact that there was one, the dance is earned. Speaking of Tom Sawyer, I would love you to analyze Rush's song Tom Sawyer. They're definitely a different sound for sure. I have heard of Rush a lot, and I feel like I've heard their music. I just can't recall what their sound is. But yeah, I'll definitely give that a go at some point. Something that I have noticed, though, is when I put out the video of Journey, that was immediately blocked. And that was really, really hard for me to get around. So regarding older videos like Fleetwood Mac or Rush or Beatles songs or the Beach Boys or whatever, it's going to be very difficult for me to try to work around that for YouTube. So they might be Patreon exclusives, maybe. We'll see. But we'll find out. We'll find out what the vibe is. If I can't get it out on YouTube, then I'll just leave it as a Patreon exclusive. It'll be nice for the audience, I think, and that'll be cool. But it will slow down my YouTube release schedule for a while, because I want to make sure that Patreon is always a certain number of videos ahead of YouTube. Yeah, they do. And it's really tough. Older music is more heavily guarded by copyright. Speaking of which, and this is something I want to say to anybody that commented saying, oh, Home Free doesn't copyright their videos anymore, and they haven't for a long time. No, that is not the case. My last Home Free video, it is still copyrighted. I make no money off of it. I can't make any money off of it. I've tried disputing it, and I could appeal to it, but appealing opens me up to legal action, and I'd rather not go down that road. Especially if I lose the appeal, I'll get a copyright strike for the channel, and I just don't want to deal with that, really. So I just can't make any money off of that video. Home Free is still very much copyrighted there is nothing I can do about that. I'm not doing a lot of home free stuff unless it's Patreon exclusive. So it's really a shame because I really dig home free sound, but it is what it is. You know, and I'm sure home free have gone on the record to say we want reactions, we want different things like that, but and I believe them and I believe you guys, but whoever their label is or whoever is monitoring the reactions, let's say, it's just brutal. It's just I got immediately copyrighted for it, not blocked, and the video is still live on YouTube. But I just can't make anything off of it. It was slammed immediately, so it kind of is what it is, and it sucks, but it is. I think it's voice play that doesn't block. You're right. Voice play is a lot easier to get out, which is why I've done a lot more voice play on my channel than home free. But even then, voice play initially blocks, not in terms of viewership, but in terms of revenue coming in. And then after disputing it, before having to go to the appeal level, just disputing it, then they'll usually release it. There are a couple of videos that were blocked in revenue by voice play. I'm not sure why that is, but the majority of the time voice play is pretty chill about it, so I really dig that. Same thing with just Jeff Castellucci videos as well. So I really love that, especially with the format of my videos. I don't go to appeal, one, because the format of my videos makes it really hard to contest other people. I do a full run through of the video without pausing, and that's enough for people to say, yeah, this guy isn't commenting or offering a reaction, therefore copyright, bam. Even if I do the whole analysis, which is just considerable pausing, commenting my thoughts and techniques used in a video. But I keep this format for you guys, for the audience, because it's just been overwhelming, the amount of people that have said I really liked this format a lot better than just constantly pausing throughout the video. And even then, I would still get copyrighted. So at the end of the day, you know, this format won out, but it's a lot harder to contest now. So it is what it is. I would think they'd want reactions. It brings more views to their channel. Yep, I agree. But it is what it is, and you know, I'm trying to make the most of it. Not to say I'll never do home free reactions again, but it's still going to be very few and far between, just because I know I'm going to get no money from those videos. So I might just keep them Patreon exclusive as well, but we'll see. I do have a Patreon exclusive home free on Patreon right now, which is their cover of American Pie with Don McLean. So that's really cool. I was really happy to do that one. I love your format, but I'm sorry it doesn't help you out for monetization. I mean, it is what it is. I try my best with it, and okay, so for those that haven't seen the video, I have collaborated with other people, one of them being Clown Reacts, and we did a voice play song for his channel and a Polyphia song for my channel, and it was really cool meeting him, and he was talking to me about how to capitalize on monetization, and a lot of the revenue coming in is live streaming and having a particular upload schedule, editing, all of these different things, having an editor, and just being really consistent with that, keeping it full time, things like that. And oh man, I don't know if that's a field like live streaming for money is a field that I really want to get into. I do these live streams because it gives me a chance to connect with all of you guys, and it's nice to do so. It's still really hard finding the time to do these, which is why they're still very inconsistent. But I'm really doing my best here. But it's just a whole thing, and I really do want to keep trying my best to monetize the channel as much as possible, but I've because of the new format and because of uh, me not posting as much as I once did. I used to post a video like once a day, 5-6 days a week, and that was overall making me a not a lot, not a ton of money, but it was a little bit that helped me with my finances. But that was also before I got a job, and now that I have a job, I have no time to do it. um, so my videos have become less frequent, and that just killed the amount of money that I make. And now I only make like maybe a couple $100 a month through YouTube and Patreon. So it's it's pretty rough in that regard, and I really do want to try to push my monetization as much as possible, because the more I can grow the channel, the more money I can make from the channel, the more I can focus on the channel, and the closer to full time I can get with YouTube, because then I'll actually be able to get to a point where I can focus not just on these videos, but on future videos like vlogging and going out into the world and engaging with the world, meeting people, meeting you guys, and just having a good time with it, and actually going on adventures and talking about music or talking about life, philosophy, books, whatever, and just enjoying that time together. And obviously, this channel and the music for this channel is going to remain consistent, but to actually have YouTube be full time, and to really grow the channel to such a point where I don't have to rely on a job, but rather use this as my primary source of income, would be the chef's kiss amazing. But it's just so brutal right now, especially in this economy. I'm just getting crushed. When did you post Home Free's American Pie? Months ago, John. But I do believe it is on my second tier. I don't know what tier you're on. But my second tier, which is the tier above the $3 tier, I believe it's the $8 tier. That tier has the video under the Home Free tab. At least Dan Vast doesn't do that. You can enjoy his channel and share. That is, again, mostly true. I do have a few Dan Vask videos where I don't get hit with a block and people can't view the video and it's copyright, but there are a few Dan Vask videos that are copyrighted that I can't get money from. And it's not because of Dan Vask. I know what I've seen the posts that Dan has made saying I really love having reactors react to my stuff, and same thing with Eric. But whoever their label is or whoever controls their videos, they don't like it. It doesn't matter if Dan likes it or if Home Free likes it. It's whoever controls their videos, and they don't like it, so they copyright me sometimes. And VoicePlay is a lot better about it. I usually get through VoicePlay. Dan Vask is about 50-50. And Home Free is pretty much never. So it's rough, but it is what it is. So I try my best with that, and it sucks that it's the case because I know the artist really wants it and I want to keep supporting the artist in that way. It's just the labels that really crush me, or the whoever owns the copyright. So it's just killer, man. Hopefully, when your job settles down and you get the promotion, you can have a little bit more free time. Well, that's the thing. I get when I get the promotion, uh, that's the time when I'm going to be spending a lot more time at work because there's a lot more responsibility put on my shoulders from that point. So I'm going to have less time with YouTube, and I'm just going to have to make the time and push farther into the night to film my videos. And it's going to be really rough after the promotion. It's already rough before the promotion, but especially after it. I'm just going to have less time. But the videos are still going to come out as consistently as they have been, which is very much. I try to have 1 or 2 videos a week right now. I would like to get back up to the 5 videos a week, and not just have it be on this channel, but a future channel that I've been developing. But it's just so difficult right now, and trying to juggle so many things. And I don't have any editors or anything. I can't afford them. I am a one-man show on everything: thumbnail making, editing, filming, all of the tech stuff. I wanted to have a video done by today, but I couldn't get it done because one of my pieces of tech broke. So I needed to travel to a couple different stores to find the pieces I need to get everything working again. And it's hard being a one-man show, but it's what I can afford. And it's just what it is. Um, I would love to see you doing travel vlogging someday. I would really love to do that. The whole, like, what I hope to achieve in terms of travel vlogging is, one, I obviously want to travel the world. It's something that I think would help better me as a person, help broaden my horizons, not just in terms of my worldview, but help me in terms of my life's task, what I've defined that to be, which is to be an arbiter, to connect people from antithetical viewpoints and find similarities and find areas in which they can communicate calmly about ideas and not feel so attacked or defensive regarding other people's worldviews and lived experiences. But I would also like the travel vlogging to have staples, and I would love those staples to be theme parks. Um, like I've seen there's a travel vlogger. His name is Justin Scared, or Scarred, and his I believe that's the channel name, but his whole uh, trademark is Random Land, and he does a lot of things on Route 66, uh, but his staples are Disneyland and the Magic Kingdom. Same thing with Adam the Woo. And I don't watch a ton of travel vlogs, but when I do occasionally, I notice that they do have these staples, these things where people can always come and return to these videos and really enjoy going to a time and a place with some people to these specific places. So I would love to be able to do theme parks alongside just general traveling, fun adventures, excursions outward, and enjoying that time. Uh, I didn't see it on YouTube. I'm not in the $8 tier. Or I am on the $8 tier. I'll check Patreon again. Yeah, I'll also check Patreon. I do know that there are some of my videos that aren't put into collections, which is going to make searching for the video a lot harder to see. So I will absolutely double check that after this stream and make sure that those videos are put into collections as well. But thank you for being in that tier, John. That really means a lot. There's not a lot of people in that tier. There's not a lot of people on Patreon. So the fact that you are in that tier means a lot to me. I didn't think Dan had a middleman for that kind of stuff. I didn't think so either. And I'm not even sure he knows that there might be, but whoever is, I visited that website before, the website that said, like, so when I get hit with a copyright, not with a strike, but with you cannot monetize this video because we reject your ability to make money from it. Um, what'll happen then is it'll tell me who specifically did that, and then I'll look them up and I'll look at their website, and there's no contact information on their website. None. So there's no way that I can communicate with them directly about it. There's nobody I can refer to or even speak about. So the only way that I can possibly engage with them is through the dispute itself. And if they're just going to shut me down, then there's just nothing I can do. Um, Again, I could escalate it to appeal and I could fight it, but that's just a headache that I really don't want to take on right now. Like, I'm sure I could fight it and win, but it's just so much energy. And I just don't have that energy for everything that I'm doing right now. So I'm just trying my best. And I appreciate all of you and your patience for me trying my best here. It was posted before Patreon was released this year, and I became a member. There we go, John. Enjoy. American Pie is obviously a long video, and Home Free did it justice. So I hope you enjoy that video. I'm confused about the dance situation. I thought he did his own thing. That's why he didn't do record labels. Well, it's not the record label. It's the people who have control over his YouTube video. It's not the people that he records the music with necessarily. These really small YouTube labels are not necessarily the record label or the people that record the music with him and control the music itself, which I'm sure Dan has the control over. It's the people that are on YouTube that have the video, that have control of the video, I think. It's really confusing, and I don't even understand all the details about it, to be honest. It's just, ugh. You should ask him. You know what? I probably will. YouTube is shocking to me. And I'll tell you why. There were people that I never thought I could get in contact with when I started YouTube. There's a channel on YouTube, and I've mentioned this in a few of my videos and live streams in the past. This guy helped take me out of one of the darkest periods of my life, just through his own commentary about anime. But he was so honest, and there was a certain level of integrity and not just humility, but sincerity in what he was saying, even if what he was saying wasn't necessarily righteous. There was a genuinity and truthful, blunt nature about him that I deeply respected. And it's not as though he's the biggest channel on YouTube. I think he has about 30,000 subscribers right now. But his videos meant and mean a lot to me. So when I reached out to him hoping to make a video, and I ended up recording our conversation, and our conversation was several hours long. But it didn't feel like content. It just felt like a genuine conversation. And we both really deeply appreciated the conversation, so much to the point that I'm not going to make a video about it because it just felt so casual, and just talking about life and things like that. And it was really beautiful. Same thing with when I met Peter Barber. Peter Barber has 300,000 plus subscribers on YouTube. And he was the first person I reached out to. And he got back to me saying, yeah, it'd be cool to do a video. And I was a lot smaller of a channel than I am now. And I'm not really a big channel. But he just said, yeah, right now this is what I'm working on. This is the time I have available. And I said, great. We scheduled a time. And now I have a quote unquote interview. It's more just like a conversation again with him, but it was great. It was wonderful. We talked about music and Avatar: The Last Airbender, some Lord of the Rings stuff, but we just enjoyed each other's company and it was awesome. Being able to communicate with other YouTubers and other musicians and other people, uh, just because we're all trying to make it happen here on YouTube, it's just so cool. Uh, and I've actually seen Peter Barber on a few of Voice Play's shorts. So it would be really cool if I grew to a point where I could also talk to some of Voice Play. It would be really cool to meet Lane, Jeff, Ellie, etc. So that would be really, really exciting if I could get to that point. And hopefully someday soon I can also get Peter Barber back on the show and we can actually get something done beyond just an interview, even though interviews are fine. We'll see. I would definitely ask Dan about that. He doesn't want any of his content blocked. That is fair. Yes, it is a long song. I remember having to flip the 45 to its B-side to listen to the second half. That makes a lot of sense. But dang, I love records and discs, man. It just feels good. It feels good to have. It's like a book to me. People have their e-readers and their Kindles and whatever, but I just the feeling of a book. Ah, I love it. I love it, love it. Um, if you can do it, he will respond to you. He's a good guy. Oh no, I'm not doubting the fact that he's a good guy. I'm absolutely sure he is. I've seen uh his videos, or not, I've seen his after the fact videos where at the end of his music videos he'll talk for a while, and even though I might edit them out of my videos, I do watch them, and he just seems so genuine and so himself and considerate. Uh, and I really dig that about him. So honestly, I very well might. It would be really cool to have him do an interview on this channel. So we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of which, something I'm considering is changing Good Evening Stories into Good Evening Radio because it's a music focused channel. It's not that big of a deal, but it might be time for that since storytelling didn't really take off on this channel. so we'll see. We'll see. Especially when I want to make future channels. I'm not sure what the names of those channels are going to be just yet, but we'll test some ideas. If you can't get through to Dan, maybe Eric July with Rip-A-Verse, and he can pass it along to Dan. Yeah, I mean, I do know that he and that Dan and Eric are working closer together now, so I have options. I have options. So next Dan video I put out, or maybe I'll just reach out to him just to see if he wants to do something. I've done that to a lot of different music creators, and even though only a few have ever gotten back to me, it would be really cool to do that with him. Like I already have reached out to the Charismatic Voice and gotten nothing from her, but I reached out to Peter Barber and I got something from him, and just the idea that I could reach out to bigger channels and actually get people excited to do something, that means the world to me. So that would be really cool to do. I think Eric welcomes reactors to his channel. I know on his live streams he will play segments of reactors commenting on his performances. Yeah, absolutely. It's nothing, like, I'm sure it has nothing to do with the artist. I'm sure the artist wants reactors to react to their stuff because it broadens their audience base. And I love that. That is awesome. And I would want the same thing if I posted music to YouTube as well. It's just who controls the video, I think, is the issue. It's not the artists themselves. I'm sure the artists are amazing. Usually artists are pretty compassionate when it comes to other people reacting to their videos, especially if their music is put out solely through YouTube. So we'll see. Dan gets back to a lot of his reaction channels. He loves it. All right, well, that gives me hope. Speaking of records, did you see Steve Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham are re-releasing one of Buckingham Nicks' songs? OMG, I'm so excited. I haven't heard of that, but I'll be sure to check that out at some point. It'll probably be on my own time, though. But yeah, I'll let you know how that goes. I love watching your channel. Been watching you for about a year. Ah, Allie! Ah! I really appreciate that. Especially since the channel is just over a year old. That means you were here pretty early on, and that really means a lot. So thank you so much for that. I really do try to put out the best content I can make in the moment. And for you to be as continuous as you have been, that really means a lot. So thank you so much for that. I would absolutely drop everything to see Dan on your channel. I mean, that would be really cool. We have Dan and Dan. That won't be confusing at all. No, that would be really awesome to have Dan on the channel, and we can just talk about music and enjoy each other's company and vibe. Let's see. Right. Can I make a recommendation for your live streams? How about allowing each of your viewers to recommend an artist or song to react to during the live stream? So that was something that one of my past collaborators suggested to me, which was to have live streams where people who donate to the channel will be able to recommend a song, and I'll react to it live on YouTube. And if YouTube comes in and says, hey, you need to end the live stream immediately, or we're taking down the live stream and the channel, etc., then you stop immediately. And one, I don't really want that pressure, but two, it's also setting everything up through a different software. I use OBS to record all my videos and to live stream. And in order for me to set up an actual paying system where it's not through YouTube, because YouTube takes 30% of all money sent in and I get the other 70%. If I'm going to get the majority of the income sent in, I need to put it through another system, another software. So I need to set that up, and it's just kind of a mess. It's something I've been juggling in my mind if I should go into things like that. And I don't know, because there are videos that I would like to put out that would be in the format of my videos, which is the whole uninterrupted reaction, and then pausing, offering commentary, etc. And if I were to do it on a live stream, then it would be guaranteed that I couldn't do the whole reaction all the way through. I would have to pause it and stop it constantly. And that's honestly not how I really like to enjoy listening to music. I love feeling what the music is supposed to be all the way through. If there's something very striking and jarring, I need to keep going through it the way the artist intended. That's how I really enjoy listening to music. And I don't know, man. Like, I'm sure it'll help with revenue, but me showing as much integrity as I can for what the artist wants and the music itself, I think is a little bit more important to me than just making a bit of extra money through a video. But that being said, man, I'm still going back and forth on it, John, but I'll still keep it in the back of my mind. But it's just not something that's pressing right now. Me too. I think it's almost been a year. Yeah, John, you've been here for a long while too, and I really appreciate you being here, though. the releases of Crying in the Night from 1973 before they were with Fleetwood Mac. Well, all right. There we go. I'll be sure to check that out. Man, there is so much that I have to keep excuse me, I have to keep pressing and doing. And it's just a lot to take on. But you know, uh, I'm excited as to how the channel is going to grow, how we're going to progress, and just doing different things throughout the the course of the growth of the channel. Even though the growth has been slow, it's at least been gradual, and I'm really appreciative to anybody that just stops by the channel and really enjoys what it is I'm putting out. I was on Jeffrey Hack's live stream. I'm not sure who that is. And he asks his Patreon members for songs to react to when he sends out a notification. I don't know how he gets around the copyright issue. Patreon, maybe? I mean, that's definitely a possibility. And even though it's easier to get content out to Patreon, it is not unheard of for companies to lash out at people for posting copyright content on Patreon. So it can still be a challenge in that regard. But that being said, the biggest issue I'm facing isn't so much the copyright issue, it's just the time I have to devote to YouTube. YouTube does not pay the bills. Even when I was putting out 5 videos a week and really grinding my butt off to try to get it to be my full-time gig, I wasn't making a ton of money through YouTube. Not enough to live. Not anywhere near enough to live. And I live pretty frugally. The main things I spend my money on are rent and food. So I don't really buy things for myself. I'm not a very materialistic guy. So it's just the amount of time. And again, since I'm a one-man show and I don't really have editors, I've had editors reach out to me asking if they could edit for me. I just can't afford them right now. All of the money that I would be making through YouTube would be going straight to the editors, and I need the money to help bolster at least a little bit my income because I'm not even making a ton of money through my job right now. So things are really tight, and I'm just trying my best to make it happen. And the fact that all of you are here supporting me and the channel, I can't express to you guys how much it means to me that you're here. So I'll keep doing my best, but just know that the time commitment to doing live streams and a lot of these videos and putting out more videos is just astronomically high, and it takes a lot of effort just to get out my videos, which aren't the most advanced in their editing, but it's what I can do, and it still does take a long time to get everything out. So I really appreciate your patience, and I really am trying my best on these videos. I almost had an interview opportunity for you with Tony Tennell, the captain in Tennell, as I'm friends with her, but unfortunately she's just not up to it right now. I don't know who Tony Tennell is. Let me look her up really quick. Tony Tennell. An American singer, songwriter, keyboardist, a contralto. Oh, not a lot of contraltos. Love that. One half of the 70s duo with Daryl. Oh, okay. Oh, right on. Okay. That's pretty dope. Yeah, that would have been cool. But I don't know a ton of it, a ton of her music. But it would always be great, especially talking to people who have been in the industry for years. So that would be really cool to do. I'm very old school in music, but watching your channel has opened me up to new artists and bands. Thank you, Ali. That is awesome. I will say that for me personally, and I've mentioned this before in other live streams and videos, I grew up listening to nothing but classical music and the entire umbrella that that falls under. I don't use like I use classical music being tantamount with romantic music, baroque music, etc. Um, with just classical music and classic rock like Elvis, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, the Eagles, etc. And that was all I listened to because that was all I was allowed to listen to. And it really wasn't even until I was introduced to other genres of music in high school, but even then, I couldn't really listen to that kind of music. It wasn't until college that I really branched out and started listening to other genres of music. And it wasn't until this channel, well, that's not true. It was just a few years before the introduction of this channel that I really started getting an appreciation for genres of music that I never would have expected to like, such as rap or uh, scream music. A buddy of mine was and is in a scream band, although it's a different one, and he and I have been pretty close for a while, and um, I really started listening to his music with an open mind and an open heart just a few years before the channel, and it really blew my mind. Just the level of skill and technicality that went into it. I've always had an appreciation for all genres of music, but there were just things that I couldn't connect with. But the moment that I could find those connecting threads, I just there's just elements about them that I could really, really respect. And something that I really love, just on a personal level, that a lot of people might have a harder time really getting into is beatboxing. One of my favorite beatbox tracks of all time from a solo beatboxer is Wing's Doppelganger. That's not a popular video on my channel, but it's there, and I loved just the flow of that particular piece. One of my favorite beatboxing videos of all time is this pure technicality of Middle of the Rhythm. Again, on my channel, not very popular, but that is one of my favorite beatbox tracks. It's on my Spotify playlist, and it's so good in terms of the syncopations and the rhythms and the technical skill that went into producing that kind of music. Oh my gosh, it was insane, dude. And then there's a lot of beautiful musical beatboxing as well. You got If Only from 4 different beatboxers. You got, oh my gosh, what was the name of that tune? Uh, Feels Like Nothing from Stitch. There's so many great musical beatboxing things that aren't necessarily the most technical, but just sound beautiful. And the fact that they come from the voice alone, it's just so dazzling. It's like watching a magician just do something in front of your very eyes and go, "How did you do that?" I love that sense of wonder and that intrigue and just being dazzled by people. I love feeling dazzled and constant, and especially as a musician, as a vocalist, I've spent several years at this point in my life. I have been studying music and the voice for the last 11 years professionally, and to know that there's so many different elements and sounds that are capable of being produced from the voice alone that I've never heard before. I love that feeling. I love being wowed and amazed. It's like watching Penn and Teller on magician show fool us, watching people actually fool them because they're just like, how did they do that? They love feeling like a little kid being stupefied for the first time again, and I love that same feeling. I get so energetic about it, if you can't tell. So I love beatboxing so much. It's the magic of music for me. Yeah. Um, let's see. It's difficult to be frugal in Cali. Sorry, I just got to that, Linda. You're absolutely right. But in terms of my lifestyle, uh, I'm not very materialistic. I value experiences and going out with people, even though I don't really get the opportunity to do that often. Um, but I value those things so much more than just like goods, like tangible goods. I would much rather hold on to memories than items. Uh, I learn the mechanics of voice through Dan. I'm just not watching someone watch a music video. Ah, that's fair. Um, Postmodern jukebox. I should do more PMJ at some point. I really miss them, and I really dig their sound. Honestly. uh, very popular in the 70s. I grew up listening to them when I was a kid. Totally idolized them. Oh, you're talking about the other person you mentioned, Tony? Yeah. I believe they won a Grammy as well. You should check them out. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Speaking of awards, I've only ever met one person who ever won a prestigious award. Um, and I believe he won an Emmy for costuming. And I believe his name was Randall Christensen. He was the husband of one of my colleagues, and we went out together. The three of us out to a nice restaurant one night because we had just uh, his husband and I had just finished performing a show together, and the show went wonderfully, and I got the opportunity to meet him, and he was such an interesting guy, and I really miss him. Unfortunately, he passed away, but he was a really considerate, very considerate, and very insightful man. I bet you recognize Tony. I bet you recognize Tony John. Very popular. Yeah. Uh, I play the piano and taught myself how to play guitar. I love classical soundtracks and uh, movie scores. I'm a big metalhead. Iron Maiden, Pink Floyd are my favorite bands. That is awesome. Uh, yeah, I really didn't even get that big into metal until I heard Dan Vasc, to be honest. Uh, and Dan has more of a rock metal vibe, and I can really get behind that. Um, but yeah, again, it wasn't really until recently where I started really appreciating things like uh, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, etc. Um, Metallica. So that's awesome though. Um, and here's something that I was actually commenting to my girlfriend about, which is I got a comment recently that people are so amazed that a person can be self-taught in opera. And I think that it's awesome that people find the genre of opera compelling and interesting, especially in an age where people find that to be very dull, even though they might not even have given it a chance. But I'm always concerned because just because you can replicate a sound, like just because you can replicate an operatic sound, rather, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are performing opera well. And what I mean by that is opera is a very technical skill, and if you don't have a teacher instructing you and helping you through it, you can very easily end up hurting your voice, hurting yourself while performing. Uh, and there's a lot of different elements that can ultimately lead to very bad habits if you actually do decide to pursue a career in opera. And the goal is when you start opera, you need to have a teacher so you don't develop bad habits into inveterate bad habits. Habits that stay with you that are so deep seated and ingrained into your style of singing that you can't change them anymore, or that are very unlikely to change. It's really, I find it to be absolutely crucial to have a teacher when learning something. Like when it comes to doing something as a hobby, then I get it. But the moment you really try using your full body and your full voice, the reason why you might see opera singers sweat a lot is because opera singing is a full body presentation. You're using everything. You're using the power in your legs, in your diaphragm, in your larynx, in the way you carry yourself, recalling all of these words and movements and styles, and the way you present yourself is, it's just exhausting. And having to do that for 3 hours is just so brutal. But you do it for the art and you love it in the end of the day. But being a self-taught opera singer, I think it's really wonderful again, but I'm always very skeptical. It's like how I feel about prodigies, especially for prodigies. A person's voice doesn't even begin aging and settling into themselves until much later in their life. So if you're really young and you're busting out these notes trying to reach a certain level, then you're just kind of destroying yourself. And I really feel for the people that just can't keep up that energy throughout their life. But it doesn't make me any less appreciative for what it is they're attempting to do. It's just a very dangerous game they're playing, and I'm so nervous for them. I never listened to beatboxing until I saw them on their channel. Wing totally mystifies me. Wing is one of my favorite beatboxers right now. Yeah, I think he is just awesome. Wing is amazing. I think Shogo is such a unique and beautifully technical beatboxer. Shogo is from Japan. Wing is from South Korea. Hiss is a really great music producer and beatboxer, also from South Korea. Collapse is a very technical beatboxer from France. Alem is an old school beatboxer who's been updating his style and sound. One of the most rapid and fast-paced beatboxers, also from France. King Inertia is a very deep and bass-forward beatboxer from the USA. So the fact that you just get a variety of different beatboxers from all around the world with their own styles, I love it so much. It's so, so good. Um, More reactors are beginning to analyze 70s music. It's nice to know it's not just noise that my parents told me to turn down. No, like I was mentioning, music from the 20s to 80s was such a big array of music. And that's something my partner and I were actually talking about the other night, which is if we could be, if we were alive and could see any live concert ever or live performance of some kind, what would we see? And I was saying I would love to see Queen live. I would love to see Bob Marley live, the Beatles live, like Elvis's premiere live, like to actually engage with music that was big at the time, but they didn't know how big they were going to be in later generations. It's incredible, and I love it. Um, Vask made a lot of us metalheads. I believe that. Dan Vask is awesome. I love his sound and his style, and he's so musical too. He's not just screaming for screaming's sake. He's so there's such a strong musical care that he has. And I just love how much care he puts into his music. It's not just screaming all the time. There is texture, there is flair, there is precision, and an understanding as to how to incorporate different elements of his voice to create something very cohesive. I love it. I absolutely love it. Your reactions are metal. To metal are my absolute favorite because they go outside of the genre, especially with symphonic metal groups. Yeah, yeah, I love it. They're all awesome. Um, when I go to party, I play dance music for them, and people go crazy. Yeah, I can only imagine. Um, some of us commented on your Jeff Buckley video, how much we like Katie Lang's version. Have you ever heard of her versions? So I've wanted to do Katie Lang ever since you guys on my Patreon have recommended her to me. And I've wanted to do that, and then all of these other videos kept circulating, and I wanted to push those out before I got to Katie Lang's version. Know that I will get to it. I will get to it. I have not heard her versions of the music yet. I haven't heard her as an artist, but I will get to it. I promise you that. It's just taking me a minute. Seeing Queen live would be amazing. Oh my gosh. I can only imagine what that energy in the audience felt like. Like, I've seen it on the videos, just what feels like a myriad, a sea, an ocean of people, and then Freddie just going, "Ayo," and what feels like millions of people just screaming, "Ayo," just coming out to him. And him just having such a strong command of the stage. Oh my gosh, dude. What I wouldn't give to be at that performance. Thanks, Dan. Didn't. Oh, John, don't even worry about it. You're not pestering me at all. But to be live at these types of music concerts, like, I could listen to big band concerts today, but to be in that era listening to big band music, that would be really cool. But even beyond that, just listening to all of the greats and being able to really appreciate it. My dad told me that Buddy Rich used to perform at Disneyland, and to listen to the Buddy Rich live at Disneyland, that would be a mind-blowing experience for me, and I would absolutely love those types of experiences. But with all of that being said, I am past the time that I should have been going. I need to get ready for work tonight, so I really do appreciate all of you guys for being here, watching these videos. Christy, you gave me a super chat earlier. We didn't reach the goal, which is just fine. Here's my dance. I really appreciate your donation, and here's the dance. I don't. I'm not a big dancer, but I have fun with it anyway. So, you know, I can wiggle my legs and move around, but I'm not the biggest dancer, but I have fun with it. So I hope you enjoyed the dance. And guys, thank you guys so much for commenting and having this wonderful live stream with me. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos and commenting and just sharing in the good music and the good vibes together. All of these, like, whether you're on Patreon or just on YouTube or whatever, wherever you are, the fact that you're here engaging and having a great time means the world to me. And while I still am doing my absolute best to keep growing the channel and to keep putting out more content and better content, even though it's really challenging, I really do want to make the best videos I can make for you guys. You guys really deserve it. And I'm thrilled to keep making more content for you guys. So thank you guys so much. You guys just are absolutely awesome. And I'll catch you all in my next upcoming videos. So have a great rest of your evening, everyone.